we here? Yeah. So now I'm recording on OBS. So yeah, I've got the whole new website totally responsive to mobile, tablet, and larger screens. I'll just share my screen here, and then you can see. Bang. Let's get all right. So yeah, now basically everything's responsive and nice, and still got these nice interactions. We can now add S-Euro as well. That's just because I've been testing. So that's really cool, as well as TST. All of this is there. This takes them to the IBCO. And then, yeah, you can add TST as well. See what TST is doing. I haven't got S-Euro up here. Maybe I should get the coin market cap. The thing is, the coin market cap for S-Euro, because it hasn't really been trading yet. So there's no real stats. So I've got to like reach out to them and see what's going on. But anyway, nevertheless, it is what it is. And that's that. And then I've been working on the FAQ to basically, I've rewritten all of this to be more sort of SEO friendly. And it also has a whole bunch of more better, newer information as the protocol evolves and changes slightly. I'm taking out stuff that's not needed anymore. So some of the stuff around native and public tokens is called kind of null and void now. But some of the other things like 0% interest and stuff is new-ish, which we hadn't updated. So I've added all that and big long texts so people can really understand it. Next up is to redo the new version of the white paper that I'm working on, which basically reflects everything, how the protocol is now and what Ewan's coded, as well as where we're heading, afterwards. So that's happening. The responsiveness is really cool now because yeah, everything works a lot more nicer, basically. So that's that, yeah. And as you can see here, yeah, it's all mobile friendly. So so that's that. I've also been doing a little bit of testing with on the smart contracts. I was just having a few issues, so I'd love actually to set up a time with as many people as possible for Ewan to sort of walk us through the process of getting test tokens and minting the first S-Euro, and sort of walking us through it, and then we can just start really testing stuff more easily, because I kind of didn't know if I was making a mistake or if there was a bug or what. So yeah, I wrote a little document for you, Ewan, with just some thoughts and some errors, which I think is probably user errors and not something. So yeah, I'll pass them across to you. In terms of emails and stuff, Philip logged into the email provider and they said they're checking out the account. So I don't know what that means. I'm going to have to look that up, George, and see what's going on there. We've totally cleansed our email subscriber list of anyone that's not been engaging. So I don't know what complaints they could have, but we'll check into that. Anna and Thorex will talk about the competition independently of this meeting. Yeah, I'll pass it over to Ewan.
Sure. Last week I was focusing on, so after I finished the testnet deployments in the docs, I was focusing on the NFT images and the metadata on OpenSea, and yeah, found a way to make all the metadata dynamic and the images dynamic. So now I guess it's just a case of getting a design and working towards that.
Awesome. What do you want from a design perspective? Do you want vectors or and another idea I was thinking of, it'd be cool if we could get like a server side copy of Stable Diffusion or something to like do generative artwork in the back of the sort of the
I don't
like
know what anything you just said means.
that's all right. You've been focusing on smart contracts. Maybe we could have a separate meeting about that. But basically, I want to know sort of. So what you're saying is that we can have SVGs that have data in them, and that
We could
data.
build, yeah, we if we build an SV if we build the SVGs and the metadata JSON inside the smart contract, then it will have live data.
Okay.
The only downside it seems is that because it looks like OpenSea cache like metadata, so it does mean that you have to like on OpenSea manually refresh updating on a single NFT, but
Gotcha.
it's not the data itself that's cached. You know, it's like
Yeah.
OpenSea caching the data that comes from the chain.
Yeah. Gotcha.
I don't know if that's only a testnet thing or if that's also the case
I think
live
that's also
or
the
on the
case.
internet. But
Yeah. I think that's all. I think I've
uh,
read that as well.
I think there's nothing we can do about that. That's just how OpenSea works, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, we have a way of building JSONs and SVGs with the live data. So yeah, if you could provide an SVG of a design, that would be perfect.
Yeah.
Um, it probably can't be that big because smart contracts have to be small. So it may be that we come up with a design that's too complicated to execute out of a smart contract, but maybe not. Let's just try.
So yeah, I mean, the good thing about SVG, you can sort of pull in data, and it's vector based, so it should be pretty small.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, awesome. Ah, man, that's exciting. That's really cool because I think this is really cutting edge, and um, no one else is really doing this at all, bringing NFTs into DeFi. I think it's really game changing. So that's super exciting. Yeah. In um, Okay, cool. I don't think I have. If anyone else has any questions about that, um, fire away. Yeah. So the other thing was with the designers and the briefing for the designers. Um, oh, there's the cuckoo clock. Um, with the briefing of the designers, um, Philip wanted to know. Well, I mean, I kind of want to know how far we are away from sort of something that we can give them so they can just fire off some sort of quote and time.
Well, me and Philip were looking at it on Friday, and then it sounded like he had enough to be able to fill it out. But I
Okay.
don't know if he's waiting on me for anything, but it didn't sound like it.
No, he mentioned something about like that you would write the JavaScript for those little graphs, and that was kind of the only thing that really needed sort of, like that wasn't data coming from the blockchain. It was more um, you guys were
Yeah,
talking
we
about.
need to, yeah. So we, yeah, we kind of decided that we should be able to we should be able to build our own very basic data feed in a small API and then not have to use like CoinMarketCap or something for those price graphs.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, I will build something super basic to do that.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Cool. 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 So yeah, I'll get back to Philip and query him about that design spec, sort of tech spec, and hopefully get them to start beavering away on that. And um, yeah, I think that's it.
Stuff, there was some confusion with that week, and also I was also double checking the data of the bonds and the people who should be rewarded. That's the two main things I was doing this week as well.
Yep. Oh yeah, yeah, cool. Yeah, so it would be really cool if you and Thorex could just sort of cross reference your data and make sure you got the same answers, and then let's get that sorted.
I think he sent it through, so I'll have a look at that and see if there's any discrepancies, and then if there's any, I'll just reach out to him.
All right. Also, Thorex was setting up a channel for testers. It's already there, I see. It's just above the Standard Talk channel called Test. Um, and yeah, so people with the tester tag in their permissions on will be able to get access to that channel. And then Ewan, if that's okay, I don't know, like what you want in terms of bug reports. Maybe like it would be because, normies like me, I just start throwing really awful, messy bug reports at you. And so I think it's probably better if we get some sort of maybe a form that I can create even, or you can maybe create that we can fill out, or even if it's a format, like a Google Doc format that we use, because I'm a big fan of sort of screenshots and explaining what I was doing, to sort of report a bug or have a concern or something like that. But I'm not sure how you want to work with it.
I'm kind of just happy if people want to describe the bugs that they're experiencing in full in that group, and like
Okay.
just more details the better, transaction links and stuff, and I'll just have a look.
All right. Maybe what can happen is if there's a bug, we can create a thread out of each bug so that you can answer in a thread to that bug.
Yeah, that's it. That's probably, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. So Thorex, if someone reports a bug, please just turn it into a thread, and that way, it yeah, they all become their own little threads, so it's not all confusing. Um, yeah, George.
Yeah. So just continuing obviously the posting, the content. Obviously some more blog articles from last week. We also released the newsletter on Friday for the bi-weekly update newsletter, sprint updates. That's now released, sent to emails. We also sort of retweeted out the Brave New Coin interview, Crypto Blood interview came out as well. I have to rearrange with Hard Hedge from last week, and also Adam Stokes is on Saturday. He's going to be a guest on your podcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then I plan to release the podcast this week. So by Friday, I want to release the first episode of the Standard Talk sort of podcast. I will release the David Morgan episode.
Yeah.
I just need the intros. Do you
Okay.
have the intro stuff?
Yeah, I just
Like
need
the
to. Yeah, I'll get it to you. Yep. I'll be
send it
sure.
over and I'll edit that in.
Excellent.
Plan the content for April, or at least this week. I need to add it to Notion for the content, and also collated all the logos from the the guest podcast that you've been on as well.
Hmm.
So we've got a sort of library of those as well.
Oh yeah,
Any
that'd be great.
update on the roadmap stuff? Just to
I
ask, because we
I had a meeting with
yeah.
Philip to do that, and then my heart was just doing such wacky shit that I couldn't do it, and then so we had to reschedule. So I'll come back with that.
Good. Well, that's it from me.
Yep. Awesome. All right. Well, it's another week of joyful work on this beast. It's really, I'm just really getting excited that I mean, I hope you guys are too, that all of our work is sort of coming together and actually finally going to be a usable product. And yeah, I'm excited to sort of start to get some voting and stuff happening as well. It's just there's nothing to vote on right now because we're just releasing this, the base MVP. But once there is, I think it'll be really fun. Oh, one of the things that we're working on is also a way to incentivize liquidity into the TST pool, so that that becomes deeper for when we get closer to launching. And so, yeah, because, people just get pissed off if TST just does these, if they buy some TST off CoinMarketCap, off Uniswap, and it goes up 12% from their order. That just sucks. So I want to figure that out, and yeah, that will happen. So I'm in talks with Philip, and then we'll get some voting happening pretty soon after that with the protocol controlled value stuff as well. So yeah, lots of stuff slowly coming together. I'm really stoked. Thanks everyone.